It is time to predict a college football game. Iowa State versus Kansas State. This kicks off 12 Eastern, but it's not big noon kickoff because it's in Dublin, Ireland. So the sun will actually be setting over there around the time this happens. I've spoken my piece on international neutral site games, but whatever. It's a college football game. So set the table here. These teams won a combined 20 games last year. This is Farmageddon. This is a big deal, people. Head coach returns for both teams. Offensive and defensive coordinators return for both teams. Quarterbacks return for both teams. The Big 12 odds are insane. Everyone's favored to win the thing, it seems like. There's this huge, just like conglomeration, this glob of teams up there. Kansas State, Arizona State, Utah, Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU, Iowa State, Kansas. They're all in this lead pack. And then there's a little separation, and then another pack of Brigham Young, Colorado, Houston, Cincinnati. Point being, no one knows. Even our friends at FanDuel, they don't know how this is going to work out. But we get a rivalry game to start the year. So it's time to find out, man. It's time to find out about Iowa State trying to replace two NFL wide receivers, and they don't necessarily grow on trees there like they do in Florida. And so you're wondering, how are they going to backfill? Well, we told you about a name in the spring, Chase Sowell. He is a wide receiver out of East Carolina, transferred in. They're very high on him. I watched him in the spring. I'm high on him. Let's see if we were right. Let's find out. Let's find out how much more advanced Rocco Beck's game is. Because there's a certain point where you just are who you are sometimes as a quarterback or any other position player. And it doesn't matter if you're a ninth-year returning starter. At some point, you hit your maximum or your peak potential. Is that him? Is that Avery Johnson? Because this is Avery Johnson's moment, man. Like Avery Johnson last year looked flat out bad at times. It was kind of weird to watch Kansas State. He finished with less than 225 yards passing in 8 of 13 games. Now, he's a threat with his legs, so it's not the worst thing in the world if he throws for 202, but he also runs for 75. They get their wide receiver one back. They get their tight end one back. But outside of that, you got a bunch of transfers, which is okay. That's kind of the name of the game in college football these days. But there's a lot of new pieces that just have to gel here. At Iowa State defense, especially against the run, they can't let Kansas State get going. They were 100th against the run last year. It's been a point of emphasis for them. But you know on the other side, that's been a point of premium emphasis for Chris Kleiman and Kansas State. Because if I got a quarterback that I can't necessarily count on to light you up through the air, I'm running the ball. And both teams very, very talented tailback rooms. But I'll tell you, as we look at what the model thinks about this game, FanDuel's got it right now, Kansas State minus 3.5. The model pretty much agrees. In fact, the model, which we're debuting, at least for this season, if you're new around here, we run our own numbers internally. We got Kansas State minus 4. The model, at least, has Kansas State minus 4. So here's where I think this game's going to get decided. Iowa State was 17th last year in explosive pass plays. Kansas State defensively 107. And they got new corners. Kansas State breaking in new corners. And I think that even with the new receivers or the unproven receiver room for Iowa State, I think there's a play or two more to be made there on the perimeter than there is for Kansas State. I'm going to take Iowa State to win the game outright. No bias whatsoever, of course. There's bias. I'm going to take Iowa State to win. It's not a Ramen Noodle Express best bet, but I am taking Iowa State to win.